as we started. Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, and welcome to another Coffee and Conversations.
Yes, coffee. We're going to give it a few minutes so we can get everybody on, the ones that can join. Remember to like this and share it. As you're coming on, I'll mention this later. And then the ones that like and share and don't have a copy of our book yet, we'll give you a copy of our book. So remember to like and share.
All right, ready for me? Let's start.
Okay, I'm going to get started. Okay, so this is our second live Coffee and Conversations. I'm LaTia.
And I'm Charles.
And we are Marriage to Third Ring. We are coming to bring this to you all because we like to get couples inputs. We like to see what's going on with couples these days. And it's just a way for us to interact with each other. Even single people can join. So remember I said at the beginning, please like this and share it. And then if you do not have a copy of our book, Why is My Marriage So Important to God? We will send you a copy. And we're going to send them out for free because we want people to get this knowledge and read it. So please share this. And then if you do not have a copy, send us an inbox after the end of the show. And we'll make sure we get your address and get you a copy of our book sent out. So we want to recap on some things that we had talked about. We know a lot of people are in the house right now, so we just hoping, and first we want to wish everybody well, that
Definitely.
everybody is doing well, everybody is staying safe. The main things, of course, they're telling you to wash your hands, try to stay 6 feet away if possible. Just do whatever you can on your end, okay? And then if you do what you can on your end, God will do the rest. So that's the best we can do. So just continue to do what you can on your part. And it'll be okay. So we're not even going to spend much time on that. We're not going to stress over that because life still goes on and we're doing fine because we know we're covered. So we hope you are. If not, let us know. Prayers. We'll send you some prayers, inbox some prayer requests, and we will pray for you that everything is going well.
Definitely in times like this, though, it's easy. Also, kind of one of the topics we wanted to talk about today, but it's kind of easy to be unnerved, especially in your marriage, when different things are kind of going on. Not just COVID-19 or what have you, but any kind of stress it could cause issues within relationships. So we wanted to talk about some of those things today and how you can make sure that your marriage is thriving even in the middle of a crisis.
Yes, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that you are thriving because even if somebody gets sick, when you say sick, financials, it's hard for you. It's easy to pull apart because you might feel like you both have different point of views. You might not be seeing things eye to eye. Some people might be on one spectrum. Some might feel like the other one is not taking it seriously. So we want to stress the whole communication. So make sure your marriage is built on communication. We all communicate differently. I know I am more of a verbal person. But I might be talking a situation through or trying to talk. Charles, on the other hand, he might be trying to, I'm watching his body language. So he will talk about it. But first he's trying to process it to see how it could work through first before he comes to probably talk about it. So even though I might feel like because I'm more up here and I don't see that from him, I might feel like he's not taking the situation seriously. He might be. As you know, with you and your spouse, y'all come from different angles and different knowledges and backgrounds. So you might have a knowledge of this. They might have a knowledge of this. The thing we say is you're stronger together than apart. Bring that knowledge together. Talk about it. Have fun. Discuss it. Of course, y'all hear us say 10-minute talks all the time. When the day gets done and a busy day, have that 10-minute talk. Each person has to talk for 2 minutes. And yes, y'all, I do not talk for 2 minutes. Because I could only talk for 2 minutes. And then it forces him to talk for 2 minutes. And sometimes those talks might need to be longer. But if you keep that in mind, you'll get the input from both.
Definitely.
So we just want to give you some ways to be intentional during these days. There's so much going on. We want to make sure we're being intentional in our marriage. Okay, so to start off, and again, I know we had some more people join. Here, we're sending out copies of our books today because a lot of people are stuck in a house. They need something to do. So why not build on your marriage? Why not build on family time? Yes, we could scroll on social media. And I'm glad for all you that came on this morning. But that shouldn't take up your day. You know, be beneficial in your house. But be intentional on spending time with your spouse or your significant other. Because the thing is, we can get distracted by anything. I know they just said Hallmark came out with Christmas movies today, so
that's what she's gonna be doing later today.
But take that time out to do something, even if it's 30 minutes, and be truly intentional with your spouse. So we are going to post our love language quiz on our website, so you all can take it together. If you have never taken it, if you might feel like your love language has changed, we're going to post it on our website, which is
mt3r.net. I'm going to pin that in the comments now.
Yes. And so we're going to post that on there. Download it. Y'all can write the answers down or print it out. Just give you different tools. You might not know how to be intentional. We actually have a blog post on our website that talks about being intentional. And we'll talk about some of those things. But we really want you to be intentional in your marriage. So, for instance, in the mornings, one of you all can cook breakfast.
So, I've been kind of lacking in that. Like, it's easy. So it's easy, really, to just be wanting to lay in the bed and not do much of anything all day long. But I'll be working from home next week, so I don't like the fact that she still has to go out. She's a nurse, home health care nurse, and some of the places she goes into, some people may or may not be affected by this. So, what I can do on my end is make sure that she has a great start to the morning before I start working from home. Instead of just hopping out the bed, answering work emails, I can go make her a cup of coffee. She loves her morning coffee, so I could do something like that. And then cook breakfast, make sure she has a great start to the day. And I think it's very important because it shows that you care, that you are really seeking after a relationship and wanting to start the day right with your spouse. But two, it's important to start your day off with breakfast. And what better way to start your day off than sharing a special moment with your spouse?
That is true. If you are someone that still has to, and that was nice, you all heard that, so that's good. And even on the other end, we can switch off. So he might cook breakfast one morning. I might decide to get up and cook breakfast another morning. So you can switch off, or you can do something else that they like. If you know they like a certain smoothie or a certain type of shake for the middle of the day, you can make that for them. So even though somebody might be working from home, you have their smoothie ready for when they decide they want to get it during lunchtime.
Right.
You can meal prep. You can meal prep together. So that's a good thing. If both of you are home right now, and I know sometimes it's not, but if both of you are home right now, look up some recipes. Meal prep together. Teamwork makes the dream work. And please chime in too. This is open conversation. So Charles is monitoring the text, the messages. So chime in if you have comments, questions, or if you want to add to this, because we are helpers one to another and we build off one another. So instead of us sitting in the house going stir crazy, we gonna come up with some fun things to do. And after the end of the thing is, there's a bright side to all of this.
Yes,
so
there
after
is.
the end of all of this that everybody is going through, on the other side of this, we want to make sure we come out rejoiceful. We want to make sure we come out stronger, stronger together. So you might have been in a rough patch, and now you're stuck in the house with that spouse every day. So that might not build your rough patch if you don't work on it.
Right.
So take this opportunity to work on it. If you have children, take this opportunity to pay more attention to the children. Now, some of you are really doing some deep homeschooling, so because some of the teachers are requiring that. So you might be really bonded with your child more than you like to right now. But that's okay, because we want families. The enemy wants to take away families. They want to destroy families. And we want families to become stronger, because when you're stronger, it's hard to come against you. When you're on one accord, it's hard to come against you. When your children know that mommy and daddy are together, that they are on one accord, because you have did what you need to do. You have taken time out to maybe even pray. So take a few minutes out the day, and if you're home together, you might need to just pray together.
And I think even in that same vein, though, it's also really important that even though we are going through a stressful time in this nation, in the world right now, that you don't show that in your interaction with your children, because they pick up on so many different things. So it's not business as usual. It certainly is not that. But you want to make sure that you're not overreacting to the situation, that you're doing all the precautions that you can do to make sure that it's a smooth transition, because Passover is coming. I believe that. So this is going to pass over one day.
So so that's a good one, Charles, because kids pick up on things. So if you all are freaking out, or you can't come on one accord, your children are going to pick up that, which causes them they might be bickering and you might not know why, but they've picked up that energy off of you all. Mm-hmm. So this is a time to really work on, if there is something in your life that you feel like as a family you can work on together, because life is crazy. We have 4 boys, we work, life is crazy. So if you feel like you want to come up with some more consistency in your life, some more prioritization, take this time and utilize it properly. Sit down with your spouse. We have to have actual business meetings about life, about our budget, about what's going on. Because if not, we move in so many different directions that one won't know what the other one is doing, because you could forget. It might not be that you don't want to communicate, but it might be that you might actually forget to tell him, because he's at work. I'm at work. We get calls while we're at work. Jot those things down. If somebody calls you on a personal level, or something that you need to talk to your spouse, there is nothing wrong with saying, I need to talk to my spouse first, and clarify it. And then I'll get back to you. And jot it down. Don't make those decisions on your own because you feel like you can't talk to your spouse. So that goes all back to communication, okay? And I ain't gonna go on a tangent. I'm gonna stay on focus. But all of this, honestly, all of this ties in together. So we just want to make sure that we're giving you some tools to actually be as strong together as you can, because we know so much can happen and come between a marriage.
Yeah, definitely. So what we were talking about the other day, our bills. So she mentioned our bills. So everybody has moments where, hey, I forgot to pay this bill. So it's very important, like she said earlier, to jot things down and have meetings and have different conversations that are beneficial to your marriage. And finances is certainly one of those things that you definitely need to talk about.
Yes. So other ways while you're home to be intentional. Of course, if you have children, you need to actually incorporate a type of family game. It could be something as simple. You don't have to go out and buy anything. It could be as simple as charades. Split up the teams, do some charades, do some learning games. That's good because all ages can learn. So you could do some type of learning games.
And she's got them on playing speed.
Yes, we play different things. Uno, some type of family games. Monopoly, I said, is banned in our house because there's 6 of us, and it's bad when a game can go for 3 hours and you just want to lose all your money and quit, because our games can go
I usually win.
I don't know how, but our games can go a long time. So we have two that likes Monopoly, but I feel like that's banned in my house. But if you want to, please play Monopoly or something that just, and it could spark conversation. We have children of all ages. You want to make sure you know what's going on in their lives. So this is all being intentional, because guess what? Being intentional in their lives is also helping you be intentional in your marriage. Because if you bring up something and your children talk about it, that helps you as mommy and daddy to know where your kids are and where their mindset is and what they're going through. The other day, one of my kids wanted to go to the Golden Corral. I said, we can't go to Golden Corral at all. I said, we can't go to Golden Corral. I said, because of, Corona. And they said, oh, we're not scared, Mommy. God got us.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been a 9-year-old. And it lets you know, like, okay, I'm glad that they had that faith. Then I had to teach them, okay, yes, he guides us, but he also gives us wisdom. So we had to, let them know. But I'm glad that to know from just having that conversation that instead of being a parent to say, we just can't go, I was able to see their mindset and where they were at. And then the other children chimed in, like, on his side. So these are things that can help you be intentional in your life along with in your marriage. So what's some more things they can do, Charles, to be intentional with their spouse?
Being intentional. So we wrote a blog post actually on being intentional. Let me pull that up. Should have had that up before.
While he's getting that pulled up, you come in the room and your spouse is sitting down at the computer chair. And I'll use that because we use computers a lot. There is nothing wrong with massaging their neck.
I feel like you're attacking.
No. There's nothing wrong with just giving them a nice neck massage for a couple seconds. That lets them know, like, oh, wow, they're thinking about me. Or they took out a couple minutes. Because you could do something else. But just letting that spouse know, because we get into a rut. So something like that is a way to just let them know, I want to take this few minutes out and massage your neck. Back rubs. Some people love massages. Some people, feet rubs. My husband hates feet, but I like my feet being rubbed. So these are things that can be intentional in your marriage, because even though he does not like feet, he knows that he will break down and do it. That right there is amazing. So I feel like once you learn your spouse's love language, then that'll be good. Don't stress yourself out doing things that you would consider as your love language, and your spouse don't even notice it. And now you're mad because he didn't even notice it. And that wasn't his love language. I mean, he might know that you did it, but you might not have got the response you wanted because his love language is something totally different. You operate out of yours. So if you're going to love somebody, and that's what we're doing in our marriages, learn how to love them the way they need to be loved.
Right. So she wrote this blog post. Actually, she wrote it August 2017. We had just gotten back from a cruise, and it was a marriage cruise we were on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was talking about living life intentionally and being intentional in marriage, and that would cause your relationship and your life to be so much better. For instance, giving your spouse words of affirmation. Most of the times we see each other in passing and work and doing different activities, and things kind of become routine. Like saying I love you before you leave out the door. Different things like that. Well, even though we mean it, but it kind of comes routine and it's not necessarily intentional. So it's also definitely about making sure that they're a priority, and making sure that your relationship is always in the forefront of your mind, regardless of what's going on in your life. Setting date nights on the calendar. You're all home right now anyways. I mean, some people get to work from home. So setting a date night shouldn't really be anything all that taxing. Put the kids in one room, put a movie on, and then you go in your room and watch a movie together, eat some popcorn or whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything big, but setting a date night to where you can just focus on your relationship. Like she said, the 10-minute talks we normally do.
And on date nights, also, we will post our code again. As you all know, some of you have a date box. And we are going to send, if you're watching this and you do not have our book, we will send this to you. So this is a great way for a date night too, because it goes through, husband and wife can go through this together. You don't have to go through the whole book at one night. It's broken down in sections for you. But we do have a date box. We have a special code. So you can have a date in your house for $20. So we will send out our code so you can try Date Box. They try to gear it towards what you like as a couple because you ask questions. And your date is delivered to your mailbox. So that is another way to do it. So we actually have a code that we'll send out as well.
I'll put it in the comments.
And yes, and please try DateBox. At least try it once and see if it's something you like. We've had a couple of them. And if you go check out our YouTube page, you'll see us opening up like 1 or 2 of them. But yes, try DateBox and see how you like it. You might as well try it for 50% off. Who can get a $20 date these days? And you're right in the comfort of your own home. So it's
they're pretty
cool.
fun though. One, we made a marshmallow shooter.
And that's because we put that we like fun. Yeah. So somebody that's older or somebody that might not want to do something like that, you answered according to you. So ours was based on the things we like. And as you see, we like to have fun. So that's what we did with that one. Because please learn how to laugh in your marriage. You need to. Everything in the world is too much. So you need to learn how to laugh.
And one of them we made banana boats.
We did. We ate some banana boats.
So that was fun, and the kids actually ended up joining in and having fun with it. But yeah, marriage, date box, the third ring 50 is actually that code. Mm-hmm. So I'll put that.
And we'll post a link, and you were still reading about the intentional.
Oh yeah, you kind of. Setting meetings to discuss things with your spouse away from home. We did talk about that earlier.
And right now you can't go away from home. So you got to find you a nice quiet place in the home, okay?
In the car.
Honestly, you have enough time now to set up probably most of your month or a couple months, whatever you could plan, especially in the house. As far as bills go, chore charts for the children, you have time. Take this time and utilize it. So plan these things and it helps you be intentional. And I promise you, your life will... I'm talking to myself too. But when your life is less chaotic and these things are all set, they ain't gonna be perfect. And it might not always go according to plan, but at least you're planning. And we all know it says if you don't, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So take this time and plan. Don't come out on the other side of this thing and your life is more chaotic than it was before we got
definitely
all this stuff and before this thing decided it wanted to try to take over. No, please. We are the victors and we have the power. So we're going to command how we want our life to go. So we keep planning. Nothing's over, so keep on planning until you and get done as many months as you can. You know what your income might be. Now we know some people are struggling right now. Some people have lost jobs. Some people might, we know that. So we're gonna pray that you really have to plan more than anything right now, because you might be down to one income. So you might have to plan on, okay, what has to happen. If the internet might have to go off and call these companies, you guys.
Right.
Don't wait for something to actually be turned off or something like that. Don't stress on that. Call the companies ahead of time, because guess what? That's being intentional as well. Don't just wait to see what's going to happen. No. You want to call, you want to tell them what's going on, and you want to see, and you pray before you call. So therefore, God goes ahead of you to make that arrangement, okay? So don't just sit back to let whatever happens. Call during these times to let people know, I'm sorry, I don't have it right now. This is what happened, and then pray, because God, he got you, okay? We went through a financial thing and, God brought us out on the other side. So some things a little better than the others. So please make sure you pray about it. Call these people, because all of this is being intentional, not only in your marriage, but in your life, because you have control and you're going to take control over the things that you need to take control of. So don't ever think that you don't have power, you're powerless, because you're not.
Right. And she mentioned like people during this time in the economy where people are getting laid off. I know my cousin is one of those people. So definitely praying for people out there that are experiencing economic hardships or going through times of uncertainty. Definitely believing that, again, this will pass over. This too shall pass. And I know times can be hard, but in times like this, we just got to keep the faith and keep strong.
Yes, and I see a message, somebody saying they're leaving their house, they can't take it.
That's my sister, Michelle.
If you're supposed to stay in the house, go outside for fresh air, but let's do what we're supposed to do on our parts. and be very careful because we would not want nobody to be sick. So as I said before, we have faith, we know how to pray, but at the same time, we have to have wisdom and not take anything for granted. So that's the main thing. So love on each other. Hug on each other. You can't love anybody else. I mean, you can love everybody. So you can't hug on other people right now. So take the ones in your house. Take your spouse. I think we laid in the bed the other morning. We just laid there for a minute because I think I was off that day. And just laid there for a minute. We didn't jump up to just keep, move around. Take time. Appreciate every moment. Live in the moment. Be present. Okay, so I'm not gonna bore y'all with this. As we said, our intentional post is on there, but these are some things we want you to take away. Be present. If you be present, that is being intentional. So much could be happening and going on around you, and you don't want to miss it. So be present with the person you're with at that time. Okay, be present. Listen to understand, not just to respond. Show love in their love language. And hopefully in return, they'll show love in yours. But guess what? We don't give love just so we can get it back.
Right, that's not how it works.
When you give love, you're just giving love. You're giving of yourself. So you don't give love to get it back. So think about that. Be present with your kids. Show them love. Hug them. It's so many unloving adults now because of when they were kids. I don't think people knew how to show them love. And as they grew older, now they became some grown big people not knowing how to show other people love because they wasn't shown love.
That's true.
So show your kids love. I don't care what age they are. Show them love. Hug them. Talk to them. Spend quality time with them so they know you care. And all you can do is train them up in the right way. And I mean, once they get and plant them seeds, our pastor preached about the power of a seed. So plant seeds in them babies and love them. So love on your spouse because, they shouldn't have to feel like they got to go somewhere else to get love because they know you love them and they know they got all the love they need at home, and we know that's not of God, but we know that we live in a real world. So please, they should never have to wonder if my spouse loves me, if they care about me, because guess what? On a daily, you should be able to be intentional if it's nothing but a couple minutes and show them some love.
That's right.
I think I'm off my high horse. Any questions?
I do want to reiterate, though, about the book. It is available on Amazon and on Marriage to Third Ring, mt3r.net. We are authors. We wrote the book. That's our pictures down here. So it's a good book. I think she said we are giving away...
Yes, actually at this point, if you do not have our book and you're on our video today, you can. I wanted you to share this now. I'm going to check to see if you shared this and just inbox us and we'll reach out to give you a copy of our book. Mm-hmm. So we want you to be, and this is another moment that you could take because we want to give you time. Yes, we wrote it. Yes, it's for sale. But honestly, if we can bless your marriage, we want to try to bless your marriage. Please follow our YouTube page. We have a YouTube page at Marriage to Third Ring. Please follow and subscribe. Because right now we're doing Facebook Lives, but it's going to switch to YouTube because a lot of people are moving away from the Facebook social media platform. So please follow our YouTube page.
And we are on Instagram as well. But you'll see all of our links on mt3r.net.
Yes, our website.
Just go there, you'll see everything we got going on.
We are looking for marriage ambassadors. So if you are a married couple and you feel like you want the world to know that, hey, my marriage, we can still be happy, be married, be in love, because the world sees it differently. No, we're good. We're stronger together than apart. Inbox us. We'll send you out a few questions, but we're looking for influencers all around. So please let us know because we want to take this, to different places and different platforms. So
the link for that
go ahead.
Is mt3r.net/represent.
And somebody asked about a book for a family discount. We're actually going to send out the book for free. So if
you ain't listening, Michelle,
if you're on this video this morning, share this video and inbox us if you don't have the book, and you're gonna get. We'll send it out. We're sending it out for free. So we'll get your once you inbox Marriage to Third Ring, we'll get your address and we'll actually send you a free autographed copy of the book. So
yeah.
You don't have to.
We have little cards and bookmarks that are going to go with it too.
Yes. So a lot of the links we talked about are in the comments. We're also sharing them on our YouTube page and on our website. So don't forget to take the love language quiz.
I'm going to have the love language quiz on our website as well.
And just so you can know, just some of the topics that we go through in our book, it talks about the design purpose for marriage, which is a covenant, fulfilling that covenant, companionship, enjoyment, fruitfulness, and protection. Go ahead. He gonna read the other way.
So the next section is my marriage. It's reigniting the passion and everything to God in prayer. The next section is repairing what is broken communication and infidelity. The last section is reflections, reflecting back on your marriage and our acknowledgments.
Yeah, so we want you to have it. Some people already have it because our coffee and conversations, we're going to go into more talking about what's in the book. So again, today, if you're watching, you can get the book for free. Just share the video and inbox us. That's all you got to do. And we will send you out the book.
Some of our... Actually, Michelle has the book, doesn't she?
No, she might not. Go ahead.
Oh, well, in the preface, we spoke to a few couples and asked them why they felt their marriage was important to God. And there were a few of their responses in there. I'm not going to let their responses air over here. Gotta get the book. But here, we'll see. We'll do one. Where's...
You thought you wasn't going to air them?
Yeah, I ain't going to air them because they're too long. But, gotta get the book. Well, it's really some good information here. You can kind of go through this kind of like a workbook together.
We went from newlywed couple, a couple that actually engaged, an engaged couple, all the way to a couple that have been married over 50 years. So those are some of the responses that we have in the book from why is my marriage so important to God. So we just want to, and we will start doing more book signings. And
we did one in Ohio last year.
Mm-hmm. But
that was great.
If you're watching today and you don't have a copy, all you have to do is share the video and inbox us and we'll give it to you.
So Michelle said, do you believe that your love language can change as you get older?
Yes, that's a good question. It can. Because we change. You want to go ahead?
So people change. So if you change as a person, then yes, your love language is more likely going to change because you have different likes and dislikes. And your relationship shouldn't stay the same. So your relationship shouldn't be the same as it was on day one, and you're now on day 3,000 and things are still the same. No. As with anything, you evolve as a person, so your relationship should evolve with you as well too. So you might like the touchy-feely stuff at the beginning, but you kind of evolve to, I mean, that's nice, but how about these dishes? How about, can we do something together? You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that things stay the same. They should not. Things should definitely evolve as you evolve as a person.
Actually, my love language changed because I was not a touchy-feely person.
Actually, no, she was not. No.
We talk about in the book how when Charles first even told me he loved me, I broke up with him because I was like, like, no, dude, what's that? And so, yes, I was not, but now I actually have moments where I am more touchy-feely. So yes, your love language is because things become more important to you and they change to you. But that's a good question to even put out there. And people could comment on later if they notice that their love language has changed. So for anybody who joined later, and I saw, we have posted our love language. We will post about it in like the next hour or so. The PDF for love language quiz on our website at mt3r.net. So that quiz will be on there so you can take that with your spouse. Even if you took it before, go ahead and take it now and talk about it.
And see if what you thought your love language was has changed from what you thought it was before.
Yes, inbox us if you have questions on it as you explore through it. Another thing we have is also our Symbis. It's called Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. So if you are, because as Charles read inside the book, it has repairing what is broken. It's hard to repair something that's broken because sometimes you don't feel like you can ever put it back together. But as we know, with faith and with God, things can come back together and sometimes be better than they was the first time. So we also have a Symbis, which is Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. And Symbis Plus for those who are already married. These tests are amazing. And we go through it with you. We are certified Symbis facilitators. So we go through this with you. 2 actual psychologists did this big research, put so much thought behind this test. It's amazing. We took our own. Check out all this stuff on our YouTube. It'll refresh you.
There's a video on our YouTube of us going through our results. And you'll love it, actually, because you'll see the kind of how the information is presented to you. It's a lot of information, and we go through it through our whole entire test.
Yes. So that is the thing. Information's on our website. Inbox us with any questions. Our main goal is to see marriages happy, see them thrive. And we want to let the world know that we can thrive being married couples. No matter what state your marriage is in, it can come out, but it takes 2 to work on it.
Definitely does. Oh, and it takes 3.
That's true. It takes 3, because that is why we are married to third ring. You, your spouse, and God. Because as we know, it can't happen without Him. And even if your marriage did not start on a solid foundation,
you can get there.
You can get there. We have faith in you. You need to have faith, and it takes both of you. So even if you did not, I'm going to end it because I know I could keep on. But I also want to just let you know something came up before. If you might be a spouse, you might be the wife or the husband, and your spouse isn't married, or your spouse, they just are not coming. Keep praying for that person. Because sometimes people are not, we've been married 18 years. Luckily, we were both saved. When I first met Charles, he wasn't in church as much, but we were both saved, that he knew my beliefs because I was strong on my beliefs. When we came together, I knew his. People don't have that. They're not that verbal. So neither one of you might have been in the church, saved, or anything prior to being married. But as you grew, one of you might have, got saved. Keep praying for your spouse. So many times we want to be like, oh, they're not where I need them to be. Keep praying. See, talk to them. Don't, what is it? A kind word. Be kind, and even when you see certain things, pray. God can change that thing, and talk to somebody. See if they will talk to somebody. You keep living like you're supposed to live. And if you keep living like you're supposed to live, it could turn them, and this is all.
Because 2 years in, she ain't like me.
Yes, but so keep living like you supposed to live, and it could turn them, and keep praying for them. So don't just throw your hands up because we say marriage to third ring, you, your spouse, and God. It still is going to take God to come into it, but don't just be like, well, my spouse ain't here with me yet, so I don't want to be there. Somebody said something?
No.
Oh, okay. So that's all I wanted to leave you with, because I don't know what you're going through in your marriage. I don't know. You might just be on here to support us, but to let somebody know that needs it, share this video with somebody that could benefit from it. But that's all I want to let you know, that there is, after all of this, we will have joy. There will be, joy in everything after this. So you'll have a glorious moment. After all this is over with, just work on it, stay strong, and stay intentional.
Strong coffee.
Are you done?
Yeah, so that's it. That's where we're wrapping up for today. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. We don't have any other questions on here.
Okay.
Lady Rachel said, awesome couple. Thank you, Lady Rachel. We love you. We love you, Pastor Brown with us at Genesis Church.
If you missed the first part, remember we're giving away these books today. And to help you be intentional, just share and like the page.
Pastor Brown is on there now.
And then
Pastor Brown.
After you get done after this video is over, please go back and watch it from the beginning if you missed it. There was some good nuggets shared. And if you have any questions and you don't want to put them on here, please inbox us. But check out mt3r.net for mostly everything we talked about today. The PDFs for the love languages
will be on mt3r.net today, since she put me out there.
Yes, they will, because we want you to work on your love languages, because that's the best way to start being intentional in your marriage. Check out the blog post that you can get off of mt3r.net.
mt3r.net/blog.
It is one even about if you want to, if you're willing to grow. So we talked about, somebody just asked if your love language could change. There is a blog post on there about, are you willing to grow with your spouse?
Yeah.
What you wanted 10 years ago might not be the same thing you want today. So just remember, don't get defeated. You have power over your life. Take control. And the best way
is power in your life and death in your tongue.
Power of your
so you
tongue.
gotta speak positive.
Speak positive. Take control of your life. I also told people, don't let if you're in a financial bind right now because of things that's going on, don't just let it happen. Call your landlords, your mortgage company, your electric, your water. Call, okay? Because that's the best way to try to work it out for yourself. Okay?
And right now they're doing a lot of different breaks for people because they understand they're going through things themselves. So definitely make sure that you make provisions and make the effort to try to make arrangements that you need.
Yeah, don't just let it happen. Stay positive, stay intentional in all areas of our life, okay? So thank you all for joining today. We appreciate you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.